field and has to either live interact with or I'm a Sasquatch. It's what I do. I do Sasquatch research. Answer questions about Sasquatch, and I have a significant amount of knowledge on the subject. Today, specifically, I wanted to start the conversation. Hello, Todd. Uh, no, sorry, somebody said hello, Todd. I'm not saying hello to myself, but I want to talk about drones because there is a new thermal drone on the market, ladies and gentlemen, and we are on the queue to get this new thermal drone. There's actually been so there was a video done about me. Some dude preposterously saying that I have $14 million, and that I'm not true, or I'm not real. My stuff isn't legit because if I have $14 million, why don't I just put a drone in the sky and go discover Bigfoot and prove they're real and all that sort of stuff? Well, the truth is, that's not true. My movie did sell probably $14 million worth of copies, but that goes to the distributor, not to me. I don't get 1% of that. So I got significantly less than 1%. But who cares? Besides all that, that doesn't matter. It's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about the thermal drone that is now available. It's a DJI 3T, it's called. And the thermal abilities of it are extremely impressive. So this year, I believe there's going to be a tremendous amount of forward movement. I've got over five PhD. I've got more than five PhDs confirmed to come out. PhDs, like doctors, coming out to help me with this discovery process this year, which is a record for me. I don't think I've had that many PhDs come out. Actually, my last year, I had an MD who was higher than a PhD, had multiple PhDs, and two other PhDs. So last year was three. The year I had John Bitternagel and Meldrum come out was two, obviously, just those two. Uh, Anyways, it's just I've got all these amazing people lined up, and I'm really fantastic, excited about it, especially because the expeditions are basically going to be. So I have this drone will literally. Oh my god, great! I mean, I'm drinking this spirulina stuff. Of course, I'm going to get all over my face, but the drone will literally be one of the primary purposes of the expedition this year. I intend to go out and have literally the expeditioners drive the truck, and I'm going to fly the drone over and over and over. I've got a lineup of batteries set up. I will literally put the drone in the sky while I'm charging the other batteries. And I'll have lined up battery after battery. We'll see every single squirrel, bear, moose, elk, deer, marten, porcupine, every kind of creature in the area. We'll scour that area every inch for literally, not exaggerating, dozens of square miles. So I wouldn't say hundreds, but I'd say dozens of square miles. We're just going to comb the area, known Sasquatch habitat, where I've had multiple sightings where the Sasquatch come around, take apples. People see them, people see the tracks from them, people see the tree breaks from them, people hear them, and we're going to fly the drone just right out of control. And this is a big deal, a really big deal for me because a lot of people aren't aware of this, but the game cam question always comes up. Why do you put a game cam? When you put up game cams, they don't come around anymore. For whatever the reason is, I've explained the reasons multiple times, but they actually stopped taking my apples when I put up game cams for 4 years. 4 years. So the argument would be not to use the drone is maybe I'll lose all my interactions, maybe I'll upset them, but I don't think that's the case at all. I have other evidence, other cues that I've been given that'll show me that that's simply not the case. And factually, ladies and gentlemen, I'm putting silent props on it. The drone is just tiny. Like it's the DJI 3T. If you look it up, it's just little. It's not a big drone. It's gray. We're gonna fly it at 400 feet minimum. That's gonna be my minimum ceiling. A deer can't hear at 200 feet. Deers have exceptional, incredible hearing. They can't hear at 200 feet. Nothing is, it's going to be inaudible at 200 feet, never mind 400 feet in which I'm going to fly it at. So, and at 400 feet, I will vividly pick up any movement from anything thermal. Remember, in Canada, we have pine trees that are built like this with pine needles. We don't have a canopy of leaves like you do in, let's say, California or Oregon. There's no canopy. So ever. So in the summer, the pine needle leaves are as big as they are in the winter. There's no cover. Nothing can hide. Squirrels can't hide. I'll see every squirrel in the area. Anything that has a thermal image will be picked up. Especially, it'll be the most exciting in June when I first go out, because there's more temperature dispersion. In the summer, when things get warmer, it gets harder to identify heat signatures, and I may have trouble in July and August, but I won't in September and October. So I'm excited to get out there. Um, my expeditioners will be made very aware of the results that we're getting. Um, if I the drone flies for, let's say, 25 minutes, I get 25 minutes of flight time. If I get a 25-minute flight time of a Sasquatch, which has to happen, I think, I just can't see it not happening, to be honest with you. I'm extremely confident. I mean, I'm the guy who gets people around Sasquatch. I've been doing it in episodes of Survivor Man. If we'd had a drone, I probably wouldn't be here having this conversation with you, because I'd have, but the technology didn't exist. If I had the drone back in 2013 when I started working with Survivor Man, things would be significantly different as they are right now. But the technology exists now. It's 2023. It's literally 10 years later. The technology is completely available. I will be completely using this drone. Um, that'll be the main priority, is to get drone footage. And it's not, you also have to understand, if you haven't seen this drone, the thermal is literally, it's not great quality. It's not going to really prove much, but the thermal will identify anything in the area. I can go fly around, literally at a 5 mile diameter, 10 miles across, in all directions, and I can see every heat signature. Once I see a heat signature, it cues me to go over there, get closer. I could identify bipedalism in that time period, and then I'll go in and I'll get the video footage, which can be gotten as well. I will literally fly, and I can't even imagine that a Sasquatch could be even aware of what's going on. How could they know? They're not going to look up. They're not going to see the drone. And besides that, pretty much everywhere you go in the world, airplanes go over. In radium, where I'm out in the hell of middle of nowhere, you hear an airplane maybe every 2 or 3 hours. So during the daytime, so they would probably dismiss it anyway. And I'm so excited about it. I'm so confident. I've taken some major risks that I'll talk about in November of this year, where I have people coming out, like, I'm just so confident, because I really, and what it leads to, remember, if I get a 25-minute piece of footage of Sasquatch thermally, this is Todd standing, and one thing I insist upon is I will go back out there and show the size, have a comparative. The Sasquatch walked here. How big was he? How long was his stride length? How fast was he moving? Can we move that fast? I'll make all those comparisons. So you almost never have that opportunity with the footage that's out there. A lot of my footage, I didn't have that opportunity. So I did for video 3, which was imperative, right? You can see me standing there for video 3, and you can see the Sasquatch in comparison, and we deduced based on that knowledge that Sasquatch was over 9 feet tall, running faster than the fastest man in the world. So when I come back with multiple images like that, thermal images, HD, 4K footage, flying over, full color, it's going to change things. It's going to be a movie unto itself. Even just 2 pieces of footage would be 50 minutes of following a Sasquatch around. Are you going to want to see that? Because I do. And what will that lead to? 50 minutes of me following a Sasquatch around is going to be another 50 minutes of me showing how he moved, showing how tall he was, doing all the comparisons. And then who knows what goes beyond that, what we'll learn. Maybe we'll actually be able to see them make a tree break, film it, see them moving at incredible velocities, watch as they wander through the trees, climb a tree possibly. How many are actually out there? Like, the questions are just, it's incredible what's coming, and I want you all to get excited about it, because it's actually a done deal. I'd have the drone today. I'm just doing a few little maneuvers financially, and I go get the drone. It's pretty much a done deal. It's a done deal. So I've worked really hard, and I've put everything together. This is extremely important, this discovery process. And the answer, as I talked about 5 minutes ago, to the twit who said, well, I'm obviously fake because I don't have a thermal drone out there. And even last year, I know the thermal drones. They were like huge. They were loud and they were enormous. They made sound, and the cameras weren't as effective. This is the year. Literally, you need to understand this and get this. Everywhere I go, every investigation I now go to, drone comes with me. When I go to Alabama, when I go to Georgia, when I go to Texas, wherever I go, drone comes with me. We're going to end about what's out there. There's not going to be any more chit chatting. Was there a Bigfoot out there? I'm going to fly a drone. And with me having hundreds of hours of experience with this drone, which is literally what I'm going to do this year, this is brand new technology. I will literally become like I made a movie, like I became a tracker, like I have knowledge of Sasquatch. I'm literally going to become a leading expert in the operation of this drone. Know it, because I do that. Don't tell me I can't. They told me I couldn't make a movie. They told me I didn't do the sound. They told me I couldn't add the Foley. I did all that. They told me I couldn't film a Sasquatch twice. What are you going to tell me I can't do now? I can't become a drone expert? I already am. I've been using drones, man. I got old drones kicking around all over the place. I've been using drones since, honestly, since about 2011. I've been using drones, and I know how they really work, and I understand the reality of these things. I've been busting my ass. I'm a good drone operator right now. I will become an elite level expert drone when it comes specifically to this particular drone with its capabilities, with its GPS, with its thermals, and with its camera. So it's really going to change. It's a game changer. I don't think anybody's going to argue that. Oh, Todd Stanning's coming to do an investigation out in California. Good. He's going to fly a drone, and you're not going to be able to say there was something out there. What was it? He's going to freaking fly his drone, and he's going to tell you what's out there. He's going to film it, and he's going to show us. So speculation, bye bye. So let's get into this. Let's kick some ass. I told you guys, 2023 is going to be a year, and this is one of multiple incredible things that are happening in 2023. This is literally the Patterson footage came out in, I believe, 67. Is that correct? I think it was about 1967, and it changed things. It changed things dramatically. It was a huge paradigm shift. It's real footage, and it's been around all this time. It's legit. 2023 is the next year. So it's a done deal, ladies and gentlemen. As sure as I've ever taken Survivor Man, as sure as Jeff Meldrum saw Sasquatch, as sure as the over 20 people that have eyewitnessed a Sasquatch under my guidance or tutelage, that's going to happen this year. And if it doesn't, I'm going to come back and I'm going to be right here in your face answering why it didn't, which isn't going to happen. So we're going to have our success. We're going to have our cake and eat it too. It's very, very exciting. So let's get into some questions here. Um, do Bigfoot laugh? I've never heard them laugh. I've talked about this quite a bit, though. I believe they are humorous. They have joy. They're playful, and yes, I've talked about that quite a bit, though, in live shows. Hello, Will Carr. Hey, Todd. In group chat, hello, Jason. Hawaii again. Aloha. Regards. Regards from Portugal. Wow, that's so cool. Boom. Sasquatch called himself Boom. Thank you, Andy, for being here today and helping us out with the show. Most grateful for that. Hello, all Sasquatch family. How's it going, Todd? I am stoked, man. Like I am lit with this new mind speak stuff that I'm learning. With the there's a course online. Go to my website. Go find the course. Experiential telepathy. It's literally seeing the experiences of other beings. So this has been a phrase that's coined by my mentors and teachers from Nia Bay, Larry and Analia. And I'm with all these new tools, all these new, this is science too. I just had an old colleague I haven't spoken to in probably 3 years call me up, 3 or 4 years, and say, man, there's some changes in you, Todd. What's going on? I had to talk to him about how I've accepted this new knowledge. And he said, but Todd, you're so science based. And I said, this is science based. He was like, it's about time. It's about time you went this way. It's about time you started seeing things like this. It's about time science started to acknowledge and recognize empathic ability, telepathy, mind speak, whatever you want to call it, remote viewing. This is all legitimate, real stuff. And this is how the Sasquatch has evaded us. This is the keystone to everything. Every person, all these great men that have come before me, like Dr. John Bitternagel, John Green, Dr. Grover Krantz, all these great men that fought for decades, over 40 years each for this discovery, were missing this component. You can't win unless you understand mind speak. If you can't communicate with a Sasquatch and and you aren't aware of their ability to see you and feel you, how can you proceed? How can you have any kind of success? And the answer is you can't. Renee DeHinden and Grover Krantz were going to shoot one. No, they're not. You can't. You can't sneak up on an individual with that intent to harm them. They're going to see you coming miles away. You're never going to get near them. They're going to stay away from you, just like they did with Renee DeHinden and Grover Krantz, who never had any success. I took out Jeff Meldrum through peace and tranquility. Even John Bitternagel and Jeff Meldrum had a sighting. John Bitternagel had tremendous success. So, uh, it's a very, very important component of this discovery process. It really, you can't do it without that. You just can't. And I'm going to say that. I don't like to can't anybody, but without that knowledge, you're done. And And this knowledge, also remember, it's way beyond Sasquatch. Mind speak and telepathy, if you're not on board with this, you're literally going to be left behind. You're literally going to get out, you're going to get out evolved. You understand that? That's how important this is. This is, don't just think, oh, this is, you know, no, this is a big deal. If you can read somebody, if you can empathically communicate in your mind, you're a very exceptional human being. You're literally, there's no other way to look at it, is you're going to have another layer of sensory perception that's going to be literally more powerful than vision. You understand that? Like empaths can literally close their eyes and move around and figure stuff out, feel things before you can see them. So this isn't some important little cool thing of the week. This is get on board or get left behind. There's no two ways. So, and where it leads to, not just telepathy, not just mind speak, but telekinesis, right? Clairvoyance. Like these are real, legit things I've been seeing for years. So the power behind this is, it's actually scary, and you need to get on board. All of you, ladies and gentlemen, we all have the ability. Don't can't yourself. I have exceptional men and women right now working on this new experiential telepathy, this new ability to see and perceive things, and it's hard. It's been hard for me. I've been doing it for 2 years now. I've been busting my butt working on this and really accepting it hardcore for a year, and it comes slow, and you got to be patient. And most of us are feeling that way. But what does do you put on mass for when you work out? Do you get in shape in a week? Like these are things that just take time. Working the mind and growing the mind into this new form of telepathy, this new form of perception. It's so important, guys. You got to get on board. I can't speak highly enough about it. It's such an important thing, and I'm gonna start pumping this hard. Like I'm gonna start putting this out there, like it's the alpha and the omega, because it is, and it's Sasquatch research, and it's life, and it's the future of mankind. Literally, we will literally say we were like that, and then we gained this sensory perception and just exploded to the next level. So, get on board. Do you still think Bigfoot can't detect trail cams? Oh, I never said that, Robert. Do I think they still can't? I never thought they couldn't. I was of a mind where, okay, well, maybe they can't like feel them. I never had evidence to say they could feel them, or, but they could see them. For God's sake, a trail cam has a little piece of glass on it. You can't hide that from the greatest tracker in the world that can see a bent blade of grass at 50 yards. So there's no way to hide a trail cam. A Sasquatch is going to see your trackway where you walked up and put the trail cam down and walked away. Like you're dealing with the most elite level trackers. And then the other thing that comes into empathic ability is the energy you leave behind. So everything, like everything leaves behind a frequency, leaves behind an energy. As an example, this is something I know for a fact. I've talked to many guys who have trained dogs that go hunting foxes or people or whatever. So the dogs will literally pick up a scent of an animal. Let's say it's a fox, and they'll follow it, and they'll get a little excited, but let their handler know they've got the scent. But when they can smell, so there's a moment where the fox goes, oh my god, there's hound dogs chasing me, and he kicks it into high gear. He goes in that explosive mode. Well, when the dogs come on that energy, they go ape shit. They lose it. Sorry for the profanity. They absolutely lose their minds. Arp, 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 because they can pick up in his scent particles that energy that he's actually in emergency mode, and they reflect that. So this is something that's been very obvious to me. The greatest trackers in the world follow energy. And if you're following somebody's energy, the energy they leave behind is serenity, or it's calm, or it's panic. It's reflecting whatever aura you're portraying, whatever. And we have to start accepting these things, guys. They're absolute realities. They're total truths. That's why this impact, it just comes back to that. It's so important. So um so I would say, and I've experienced this and seen this. James will testify, multiple people will testify to this. If you put out an apple and your intent is negative, if you have some underlying sneaky trick behind it, they're not gonna touch the apple. The energy is off. These beings literally live based on energy first. It's their primary ability. It's their primary sensory perception is empathic ability, feeling the energy moving around. There's nothing cleaner than that, guys. How can you imagine the doors this is going to open, like the change this is going to make? Like this is seriously unreal, spectacular movement forward. And I wouldn't be talking about it unless I knew it was true, because I've seen it and I've experienced it. I've dealt with trackers, the greatest trackers you can ever imagine, that could follow people on rocks, following the energy like a dog follows scent particles. So they've talked about it to me, explained it to me. It's mostly native men. It's only native trackers I've ever seen that were capable of doing that. But everything's energy, guys. So ever consider getting some over 7 foot tall to come out on an expedition? And this is from Sasquatch Thumper. I know you're going with this. I just don't, I don't, since it's all about energy, it's not about being 7 feet tall or 10 feet tall. It's about every time. And I tell you guys, I've taken out dozens of people, probably 100 people have come out with me on expedition at this point, including like TV shows where they have crews of like 10 people and stuff. Survivor Man, when he came out, he had a crew of like 6 people. So the numbers are getting pretty high. And I've seen it consistently. If you are open, if you are honest, if you are a good, honest person, they'll come and interact with you. I can't express this enough. I can't tell you how many times I've seen this. Literally dozens and dozens of times. I take somebody out and they're not comfortable and they're not having a good day. The Sasquatch don't come around. I take a group of people out. We're having this incredible interactions. Everything's amazing, and then one dude sits down with us and tells us about how his son got cancer. Wonderful, amazing man. Sasquatch activity done. Over. Stops. So I've realized in my expeditions, when I take people out and I grind them and they're scared and we're staying in tents, we're getting wet, it's cold and miserable, and the food's, you know, just okay, we don't get good success. I take them out now, we're in a trailer, it's covered, we're warm, we have good sleeps at night. Safe, good sleeps, we have good, healthy food. Everything is in abundance. We're warm and comfortable and happy, and we're having a joyous time, and we're loving nature. Boom, Sasquatch activity. So, and I'm literally speaking to you with someone who's got thousands of days of expedition experience. You understand? I started doing expeditions in what was like 2016. And even before then, I was still working with people out in the field. But now I literally am a professional Sasquatch expeditioner. I'm literally a professional Sasquatch researcher. I don't know how many people can actually say that. And I'm not talking one of these, even there's a big difference between me and these TV show guys that don't really do much. Like, what do they give back to Bigfoot? What are they actually garnering for success? I've got I've got over 20 videos and photographs of Sasquatch, right? I've taken out people, I show them Sasquatch, and I'm never going to stop. It's never going to stop. Who's going to be surprised when Joe Rogan or Mr. Beast or one of these big podcast or YouTube celebrities goes out on an expedition with me and I show them Sasquatch? Who's going to even be surprised it's on the show? Are you going to be surprised? Did you watch my movie? That's what I do, right? So eventually, the truth is going to break. The truth will come out and everything will be exposed for what it is. Somebody will go discover Sasquatch, even if it's not me. And they'll be like, look, they do tracks just like Meldrum says. They do breaks just like Todd says. They look just like everything in Todd's videos. They move just like everything we've been seeing. You know, how surprised are all of you going to be? You're going to be like zero surprised, right? Expect that result. And it's coming. The brilliance of this discovery is absolutely amazing. So don't think it'll make a difference. 7 foot tall human being. Cat Chaser, thank you very much for the donation. I greatly appreciate it, my friend. Did you have a question, sir? If you do want to make a donation, I'm grateful for YouTube, and YouTube is very grateful for that donation because it goes to YouTube almost entirely. If you want to make a donation to me, discoveringbigfoot.org is my website, and I have Patreon. That Patreon and through my website, I get almost all of the donation. And I am a full-time Sasquatch researcher. If you care about Sasquatch and it matters to you, by all means, make a donation. And if you want to change your whole life and rise up to the next level, I can't recommend Analia and Larry's course enough. It's actually on my website. There's actually a section on it that you can click on, and a significant part of that of purchasing that course goes to my research. So, and believe me, I'm spending tens of thousands of dollars on equipment for this year, and I'm going to go get success with it. And I'm thrilled and excited about it. It's awesome when you can get learned people, science community out there. Isn't it amazing, Jewel? So amazing. I literally, the scientific community is just so amazing, and I feel they work with me. There's a lot of I have a good community that comes around, and I'm very excited about continuing my relationship with science because my foundation is science. I came from the University of Alberta. I studied biology there, and I love science. How close were you to the Sasquatch when they gave you your spiritual animal? That's Filthy McNasty 75. He put his hand on my forehead. So he walked right up to me, put his hand on my forehead, and was in physical contact with me when he was. My spiritual animal wasn't given to me so much as I was being judged as worthy or not. Literally, the ceremony is. So I'm not getting too much specific. It's very personal, and I've talked about it a few times, and I'll talk about it more, especially with my expeditioners. But they'll take you on a journey of your life of good and bad, things you've affected, teach you powerful lessons that are just absolutely mind blowing, totally incredible, brilliant lessons I learned. And then if you're worthy of the forest, an animal will accept you as a spiritual guide or become your spiritual guide. And if you're not, you're supposed to be on a cliff and you just get pushed off the cliff. So it's like a do or die kind of thing. And when I was told about the ritual, I was very confident that I would succeed in passing it. And I'll tell you, halfway through the ritual, I just said, "Push me off the cliff." I had no idea that the things that I've caused and the damage that I've done, unknowing to me. So I was so upset with the things that I was showed that I actually thought he did push me off a cliff. At the end, what actually happened was, in a dream state, I felt like I was falling off the cliff and I was falling to my death. And I felt like wings and talons. Like I felt the flutter of heavy wings, and I felt talons grab me and pick me up. And that's when I woke up, and I show people. Started with Survivor Man, who's the very first one I ever showed. The branch, when I woke up, and the branch a red-tailed hawk was on that had no place there. Standing there, or standing on that branch and, accepting of me as my spiritual animal. And it's been one of the most illuminating experiences of my whole life, is having that guidance. And I feel it all the time. Red-tailed hawks have been very significant in my life, especially in nature, almost actually entirely in nature. I don't really see them in the cities around me. And it's been a wonderful journey, and I'm so grateful for it. So, but only the Sasquatch can do the spiritual animal ritual. And if you knew what happened to me, you would understand why. I don't think a human being has that power. And that's how powerful the Sasquatch are. Like through mind speak, through transitioning through time and understanding just how things affect other things. I don't. They're so brilliant. They're so amazing. They're such incredible beings. I'm really holding back, guys. As much as I tell you how amazing and brilliant they are, I'm holding back. There's so much more to this. Like, I just have such a reverence for these beings. Like, I have so much appreciation and respect for them, and there's so much more. But I really don't want to discuss too much because it is personal, and I don't know if the public's ready for me to really just put it all out there. So we'll just take it step by step. Let's frog and hot water this. The other thing too is, it may be hard for you guys to understand, but I mean, I spend every week I go out there, I spend 24 hours in the wilderness. Like, it's day and night. When I go for 7 days, it's day and night. You're in the bush. If you're sleeping in serenity of the trees. I wake up, in every waking moment, I'm up, 16 hours a day or more, and that's all work in the wilderness. It's not like a job where you go to your job and it's an 8-hour shift. It's not like that. I'm on at all times. At any time, a bear could come around at night, a mountain lion could be stalking us, we could be in avalanche danger, the weather. There's so much going on, you know, that I always have to be aware. So when I'm in the wilderness, I'm constantly on. There is no break time, you know. I'm constantly working, I'm constantly learning and alert and aware of my surroundings. So it's different than a job where you could say, well, I'm a carpenter, I'm putting in 8 hours a day. It's not like that. I put in all the time. I'm always there, I'm always on, I'm always learning, I'm always talking about Sasquatch or the wilderness or the plants or the trees or the animals. So it's a horrific amount of experience and knowledge that I've been able to acquire in the past almost 20 years. I've been since 2004 specifically. So it's a long time, right? That I'm coming on to 20 years in 2024 that I've been really like in the know of Sasquatch and working on this. And it's been a long journey, and I love it. And I'm grateful that all you guys are participating in it. So everybody's saying hi, World Creations. Thank you for tuning in today, my friend. They're definitely see they definitely see UV or IR. See, I don't agree with that. This is I can't even pronounce the name, Memhemet Polat. You say they definitely see UV. I completely disagree with you. Respect. I've seen no evidence to substantiate that. And IR, you think they see an infrared? I completely disagree with that. I see no evidence of that whatsoever. When they are on UV, their eyes go greenish, infrared spectrum, and eyes are orange reds. Yeah. And respect, I would like to hear how you have any evidence to substantiate this. I see them as, although they're exceptional and their extrasensory perceptions are amazing, and I believe I don't believe, I know they can use telekinesis. I know they can change frequencies of things and do incredible things. But there's no reason for me to believe that they're not biological as well. There's no mammal, there's no animal of any kind that can see. Well, caribou can see UV, but there's no reason to think the Sasquatch would adapt that, and nothing can see IR. So why would you think Sasquatch has that capability? So I just, out of respect, completely couldn't disagree with you more. I need to see some kind of evidence. I always joked with expeditioners, and especially with Survivor Man, we had this big infrared light, and I told them they can't see infrared. Nothing sees infrared. So, but I told him I believe infrared the day I shine an infrared light on a Sasquatch, and he goes, "Whirr!" So I just don't think it's going to happen. I believe I could shine an infrared light right in the face of a Sasquatch, no different than shine it in my face. A spotlight, a million candle power spotlight, infrared, that I have kicking around in my equipment, and they wouldn't even have any knowledge of it whatsoever. So that's my opinions based on my experience. So don't spook them. I couldn't agree with you more. I would never do that. Hello from Oregon, man. I love Oregon. I've been hearing lots of good things about Oregon. I would love to get down there. That's a place that's I really really like to have that. Andy Shalom Look says World Creations. Hey Todd, I have a question. Can you provide the missing videos from your portraits of Jane and Kubota? There are no missing. Where 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 they enter there's nothing like that. I don't understand why people think that. I literally point the camera and hit record, and that's where it starts. They don't walk in a frame. There is no walking in a frame. I literally see them and film it. Like as an example with Kubota. So I'm out there. I can't have my camera on at all times. You understand battery power is limited to an hour, and I'm out there 24 hours a day. So I had 8 batteries with me. That's crazy. 8 batteries, burned them all out. I'm on my last battery, but even with Kubota. So I have my camera on. I'm having all these interactions. I just shot a thermal Sasquatch. So I have my camera on. And I'm looking around and I hear a funny sound that I don't notice. And out of the corner of my eye, I see a light spot turn dark. So I pan my camera over there and I zoom in. Then I get my Kubota shot. I never saw him running. I'm assuming he ran over there and I couldn't see him. Like he's not within my visual ability. He's not within my sight line. I can't see him. So he's moving. I can't see him. I hear boom. I think that was him kind of hitting the ground, sliding into that little space. So I never could see him walking or moving. Just like with Jake, just like with Jane. I never saw that. I literally, they moved to a spot and I turn my camera and pan onto them. So there is no walking in, there's no walking out, there's not, even with Jane. So I get to that spot with Jane. Jane's actually like, there's a dip down there. Like she's on a ledge. So she's almost standing up with her head peering over. That's what happened. So I'm down in my spot. I'm looking to move forward. Boom, I see a head pop up. I start recording. So there's no walk-in. Understand? There is no walk-in. The footage you see is me hitting record. The photographs you see are me clicking pictures. What stopped it all? Why don't I have her walking away? A Sasquatch came up behind me. I was in a ghillie cloak, as I called it, a lead-lined ghillie cloak that I was moving in. A Sasquatch walked up behind me, slipped his hand underneath, so I'm laying down on the ground. This is my head. This is my body. Do I have a doll for this? I got a little girl. She leaves doll. Anyways, he reaches in. So my head's over here, looking at Jane. She disappears. I haven't seen her for about 5 or 10 minutes. So I'm looking this way, waiting for Jane to pop her head back up. He comes up behind me, reaches in under my cloak, grabs my ankle, and pulls me and walks with me for like 5 meters. So Jane, what? You see her, you see her. There's a shot of her, and she's gone. That's it. There is no walk in, walk out. Sasquatch pulls me out of my ghillie cloak. Of course, I didn't get a shot of him. I was freaking out. I lost my mind, scared the hell out of me. Can you imagine you're in a ghillie cloak and there's a Sasquatch over there, and you're like in this panic mode, getting this footage. This is amazing, incredible, and you feel something slide its hand under your cloak and grab hold of your ankle and start walking with you. I drop my cameras. I'm flailing all over the place like a chicken with my head cut off. I'm sure. but he didn't run or anything. He just walked gently with me. And by the time I actually was able to cognitively spin around and look, of course, no cameras or recording, can't record that. I literally saw a bush shaking where he walked into the trees. Never saw him walk in or walk out. I never saw that Sasquatch. So this is the reality, guys. It's not like a Sasquatch ever. Even look at the video 3 footage. I run over there, and the Sasquatch isn't supposed to be there yet, and he's there before us because he's so darn fast. And I start recording, and then he runs off. That's it. And where's the other footage? There isn't anything. That's where it starts and stops. That's the beginning and end. There's nothing else. I don't know why you could think there'd be anything else. And with Jake, I only had that one battery, and I sure as hell wasn't changing my other batteries. I was on a fresh battery with Jake, and I just kept hitting record. And then when I'd get my shot, I'd literally go, oh my God, that's an incredible, amazing shot. It can't get any clearer than that. I would literally get down in my ghillie suit and go to move closer. And I'd get closer, and that's why the shots get better and better. I'm kind of moving into that spot bit by bit. You see the first shot suck. You can kind of see an eye. And I tell you, if I just had that shot, nobody, I wouldn't be here. Nobody'd be watching me right now. Nobody give a rat's patootie. Luckily, I put my camera down and I moved in closer. And I got closer, and I moved in closer, and I got closer. And by the time the gig was up, after the last little bit, I did get up and run after that Sasquatch, but there's no footage. You ever tried to film a Sasquatch running while you're running after him? Didn't work out. So that's the reality. People like to live in this world of, oh, amazing and wonderful, in movies and stuff and video games. That's not real. Ask Survivor Man. He's talked about this many times. Like, even there's a video that I reviewed with a Sasquatch in Ontario, and I think it's bogus. You know why? Because the dude does this. He pans, oh, I like the lake, it's beautiful. He pans away and suddenly stops, and he pans back and he holds right where the Sasquatch comes out. That's bogus. That is absolute horse manure. It's like he won the lottery. So he's just panning along and then stops for no reason and then pans back to where the Sasquatch isn't seen yet and he can't see it. And then he holds there for 3 or 4 seconds. Look, a Sasquatch. Really? I call absolute horse manure. When I did the review of that video, I was like, yeah, I don't buy that. And there were other things I didn't buy. I found that the Sasquatch wasn't walking in line either. It's a guy in a suit, 100%. But it's so rigged because I've never filmed a Sasquatch like that. It doesn't work like that. If it was real, he would have panned off like this and then just kept on his way and never would have saw the Sasquatch. But he panned back and he held. I can't say this enough, guys. That's not real. There's 360 degrees of where the Sasquatch can be. To have your camera filming there in that particular time in focus is really hard. And it really has never happened to me, and it's not going to happen. When I get things to happen, it's highly coordinated, highly designed, and failed 10 times before I get that success. So it's tough. So that's the reality of it. Like humans in different parts of the world, we speak different languages. Are Sasquatch similar depending on the region? No, absolutely not, Will. They speak through mind speak. Mind speak is universal. Mind speak is you have an image. That's experiential telepathy. You send a video image of a sequence of events transpiring that you can send as a message, and you attach emotion to it. As an example, I see a dog and it's running at me to hurt me. And I send that message, and then I send a message of hostility or fear. That's not a good thing. Or I see a picture of my daughter running and playing and going down a slide. So I send you that image in your mind, and then I attach the love and adoration I have for my daughter. And then you know, oh, that's somebody who you're tremendously affectionate towards. Maybe even you're intuitive enough to pick up me feeling, oh, it's my daughter. I love her so much. She's so beautiful. Right? So that's a universal language you could mind speak with animals. You can mind speak with people. It doesn't matter what language you speak. You just send that emotion, and the better we get at this is me in my absolute infancy in step one of understanding experiential telepathy, mind speak. Step one, I'm literally just into this new box and trying to discover my way through it. Come talk to me in 10 years. I bet you I'm going to have a lot more to say and a lot more in-depth understanding. I know Analia and Larry, who are my mentors, are already probably years ahead of me, being patient with me, letting me have my own journey and discover it my own way. And I appreciate that. And I guarantee you there's other people. I know there's many other people that are light years ahead of me. so far ahead of me, I don't know if I can ever even acquire that. But I will get forward traction and I will grow. I promise you. I might not be the best in the world at this, but I'll be exceptional and I'll do well. I'll live up to my fullest potential. So the term do the best you can has been just besmirched and it's so pathetic. Did you do the best you could? I really give it my all. I really do the best I can. And that actually means something to me. I put 100% into it when I tell you I've done the best I can. And that's what I'll do with this to my heart and soul. Hey, Todd, drone idea sounds cool. Doesn't it sound amazing? It's amazing. So, Andy's saying, please subscribe. Thank you, Andy. 385 videos. Oh my God, on our YouTube channel. That's amazing. So Jason says, I'm wondering about attracting Bigfoot when you're thinking about burning sage, incense, sticks, or even marijuana. Have tried any of this? Do you think, well, burning sage and doing cleansing is, it's a cleansing. It's something that we do. It's a ritual that we do. So many native cultures do it. I have a particular one, and I almost always cleanse my expeditioners. Survivor Man cleanses himself. He cleansed me. Cleansed all the equipment, even cleansed my truck. You know what I mean? So it's a ritual they do, and it's a ritual of cleansing. So um, I think the Bigfoot are very respectful of that, and it's a powerful ritual. So there's multiple rituals that I teach people. I go out there and we go through these rituals that connect you to nature, and a cleansing is absolutely one of them. So I'm a full-time researcher. Thank you, Andy. That's so those are the links, discoveringbigfoot.org, and my Patreon account if you want to make a donation, if you can easily afford it only, if it's well within your budget. So that 10-foot one is friendly or no? I don't know who you're talking about. The 10-foot Sasquatch. It doesn't matter what Sasquatch you're talking about. I don't know if I call them friendly. Sure. I mean, friendly's not good though. They're very wise, highly intuitive, extremely intelligent beings. So I don't know if you incorporate friendly onto that. They're not violent with me in any way, shape, or form ever. And I'm telling you guys, you saw the log get thrown at me in my movie. You saw the flare thing. Man, if they ever wanted me gone, snap your fingers. I'd be gone. There's 100 different ways they could make me disappear, and nobody would ever find me again. So they're friendly in that they have never harmed me. Ari, can you not bump my thing? That's my Roddy. Don't you dare bump that again, please. Um, but I don't know. I don't know if friendly is the term. They're just highly wise, highly intuitive, exceptional beings, and it's really, I think, an important thing to mention is they'll reflect. So if you're angry and you're hostile, if they're going to interact with you, they're going to reflect that. They're going to be angry and hostile back to you. So they won't be friendly. If you're some kind of ass, you're out there for a fight and you're looking for a fight, and they decide they want to take you on, you have my sympathy. You are going to disappear. You can have your guns, you can have your buddies, unless you're like the American government out there with Apache helicopters and thermals and drones and everything. You versus these guys, you are so not going to survive that unless they allow you to survive. I can't put it clear enough, guys. So just go out there with a peaceful mindset, and there's really nothing more you can do. If the Sasquatch is angry and pissed at people and he doesn't like you for some reason, you're at his mercy. You're in his habitat. He is the dominant being. He's the apex species in that environment, in the wilderness. If you come into his environment, you have to manage that. And my suggestion is be honest, be truthful, be transparent, be peaceful. If you're not that guy, then don't do this. Stay away from these individuals. Because, or pray that if you go out and you try to interact with them, they just stay away from you because you're in for a bad day. Todd, these Bigfoot are smart. They know where you live, they know where you are in the woods, and they know your demeanor. Just saying. I agree with you, Tim. Can't really see. They know where I live. Yeah, but they know where I am. They can mind speak with me at any time. They're not coming to my house. I'm living in the middle of the city right now. So they know where you are in the woods. I couldn't agree with you more. Like 100%. Completely aware of where you are. That's their home. And they know your demeanor. I couldn't agree with you more. Absolutely aware of even what you're feeling at that time. Even knowing who you are and where you've been and where you're at and what you're going through. Like it's just so transparent. So I totally agree with you. So I'm just saying, Tim Trammell, completely agree with you, sir. Wise words, in fact. Please hit the thumbs up icon if you're enjoying the show. You're enjoying the show. Hit the thumbs up icon. Awakening is awesome. Boom. Oh, there we go. There's Brian, my friend. Hello. So Brian is an elder. I consider him an elder. He's an elder to me. So I have immense respect for him. He was an incredible host for me in Nia Bay. And I have decided that Brian does a little heartfelt speech about Sasquatch and the relationship he has with his people and the agreements they've made. I'm not going to put too much into it right now because it's going to be up on my YouTube channel. I'm very excited to put that up. And yeah, it's Brian just puts his heart out there and has a nice discussion about an agreement that he has with what do they call Sasquatch in Nia Bay? I forgot that. So many terms. Oh my God. And Nia Bay has a nice term. I'm kind of stuck on Sabe, the Blackfoot. I live here in the area where in Blackfoot country, and Sabe just means honesty, integrity, truth, and just so resonates with me. So resonates with me. You forget the Sasquatch know what you're planning before you even leave your house. I have to agree with you. It's really and you got to understand this is Fuzzy Tiger Cat. So that being said, so the Patterson footage was planned. They did that on purpose. They showed themselves on purpose. They expected all that to happen. And it actually is all making sense to me now. And I'm not kidding, guys. I really see this. I see even with me what the plan was and how it all came into place and how it had to play out this way. I'm just seeing so much here, guys, and it's such a deep hole of like it's a big rabbit hole, I guess, Alice in Wonderland context. But it's there's so much to this. It's just become so clear to me. Literally, people that they actually this has been brought to me by Larry Nanalia again. This has become very clear to me. If somebody doesn't believe that this, like you watch the Patterson footage, you watch my footage, you go, oh, it's crap, I don't believe it. They want you to think that. It washes you out. You're so closed minded, you can't see the truth when it's presented to you in crystal clarity. So, and people that go, that's interesting, I want to learn more about it. Well, now you can start moving forward with opening your mind and becoming real with this discovery and ascending to the next level of awakenedness with your third eye, with your empathic ability. So it's their way of kind of separating us, right? It's even my way. I just, if people are like, man, you're a liar, you're a hoaxer, they say stuff like that to me. I said this like that to Bob Gimlin. You're just not ready for this. You don't hurt my feelings because there are literally hundreds of thousands of people that believe in what I'm doing. Maybe probably millions that believe in the Patterson footage. That's a lot, and that's enough. That'll get the ball rolling. And with the support of us, with us just working together for this discovery, all of us, then we're just going to garner tremendous success and move forward. And those who are ready, when the student is ready, the master will appear. When and there's no difference when you're the student that's ready, you're ready for this knowledge, and it'll appear to you. When you go after it, when you decide to do the experiential telepathy course, when you decide to, you know, get on board with this and help out with this and participate in this work, you're deciding to move off into the next level of ascension. And I'm not making any bones. That's the reality of it. Watch, watch and learn. I live the life, and I'm going to prove it. So I already have proof. I'm just going to keep moving forward with it. It's out there. This is World Creations. I'm not sure if Sasquatch like incense or sage. It's possible since Native Americans use them. I do know Sasquatch like body toning sounds, meditation, sounding meditations that humans do. Well, that's good information. Thank you, Royal. Um, Body toning, sound meditations. Well, I know that the Sasquatch would appreciate the ceremony of cleansing because no matter what, whether you believe that the fire and the smoke is cleansing you, if you believe it, it's happening. If that's what your feelings are, if you feel clean, if you feel like it frees you up, and that's the energy, that's the whole purpose of it, the smoke and the fire and the cleansing is to cleanse you. And I have another ceremony to connect you to nature and to the earth. So as long as you feel that, it's real. Whatever you feel is your reality. However you if someone comes up to you and is joking around with you, say, "Hey, how you doing, douchebag?" And it's like a term of endearment to you because that's your buddy and you're hanging out. If you feel that's a compliment, then cool. If someone comes up to you and calls you a douchebag and you don't like that person, it hurts your feelings. Well, your feelings reflect what's going on. You make that feeling based on your perception. Does that make sense? So it's your feelings, it's your perceptions, it's how you decide to exist in this reality or not. So very important stuff and very fundamental truth that a lot of people just don't understand that concept. I would like to see them interacting with each other. Wouldn't that be amazing? This is Higgy burners. Oh, and that's part of the thermal, right? Is what are they doing? How are they coming around me? What are they doing out there? Are they playing? Maybe I can, maybe even ultimately. So what I'm talking about is stage one. Okay, there's Sasquatch out there. Here's the images. Here's the thermals. This is amazing. That's stage one. Stage two is where are they located? Where are they playing? Where are they hunting? Right? Like this is why my mind is so blown because you got to know I'm gonna go figure that stuff out. Higgy burners. What a funny name, Higgy burners. So that's the exciting part. Is this is step one that leads to step two? I want to see them hunt and kill an elk. They do that. I want to see them wrestling with each other. They do that. They play. I want to see them racing each other. I want to see them running around and do it. And we can do that now with our eye in the sky, little thermal drone that we're going to put up there. That can all be done. These things can be achieved. And give me this year to go come back and say, look at what we did, guys. Look at the footage. Isn't it amazing? And you can actually help with this. You can go make a donation right now. You can make a one-time donation to the thermal drone that I'm buying. It's the DJI thermal drone. The funds aren't completely done and cleared yet. If you'd like to make a donation, by all means, one-time donation, what you can afford, it'll come to the drone. So, and this footage is all gonna, you make a donation, this footage is all gonna come out. So I really appreciate any help you can give if you can easily afford it. If you're excited about it, use the money as a form of energy to just, man, I'm excited. Here's some energy towards this discovery because it does lead to that stuff. So I went and looked at the drone. I'm ready to buy it. I'm just collecting and putting my money in together. I was supposed to get it already. I haven't got it yet, but it's coming together. But I told the guy at the drone place, I was like, he's like, you want a 2-year warranty? I go, why? This thing's going to be obsolete in a year, and I want the next version. He was like, oh, the next one's coming up, blah blah blah. It's going to have longer flight time. It's going to have better thermal cameras, and I want it. I'm going to get it for the rest of my life. Listen to this. I will be buying a new thermal drone every year for the rest of my life. In 10 years, I will have, and these thermal drones that I'm buying, these are the best in the world. These are the number one amazingest drones. I know because I've been doing drones for, again, over a decade. I've had drones. So this is the best drone ever made in the world, perfect for what our needs are for the discovery of Sasquatch. And next year I get the next version, and the version after that. This drone will literally pay for itself with the success I garner with it. It'll 100 times a 25-minute piece of thermal footage of a Sasquatch and then turns in. I can film thermal and 4K HD. You think I'm not going to have both? I'll have both running at the same time at all times. Never going to stop. So when there's a thermal image, there'll be an HD image right beside it. The HD image will zoom in and be better quality, and I'll close in with thermal drone. This is going to happen. It's right here. If there's anybody the drone's worth 10 grand. What I can do with the drone is worth $100 million. No argument. If those Sasquatch come around like they did in Survivor, like they did in my movie, like they do every year on Expedition, you see it in my videos on YouTube. All they have to do is keep doing that. It's game on. We've won. Like I'm going into this game is rigged to win. I already do this. I've been doing this for over a decade. I've been doing this. I just have to do what I've been doing for even decades. Just get them to come around again. Once that happens, we win, guys. It's that scary. So a $10,000 drone is going to have $100 million worth of value for me. I film this stuff. You don't need to understand anything more than that's going to be a documentary everybody's going to want to see. If everybody spends $10 on a documentary and 10 million people only see this, as $100 million worth of footage. So, and that's the beginning. That's how big this is. This is literally, you guys that are here are going to be like, are you going to be surprised when the big media scrum happens, when there's a press conference? Are you even going to be surprised? You can be like, I've been following this guy for so long. I already knew this. He already told me this. He called it, right? Just like, and I've called this stuff many times. Man, I went and shot video 2 and video 3, and I told everybody. This is way back in the beginning, back in like 2006, 2007. I'm all over the media for species protection. I have 2 pieces of video. You know what I told everybody? This isn't over. I'm going to get lots more video. Oh, sure you are. That's what they said. I have 2 videos. I'm going to get more. I'm never going to stop. And they were bitching about facials. I come back with Jane footage, full facial clarity. Oh, you really did it. Well, that's 3. You're not going to get 4. Right? And it just never stopped. So, and the footage is what the Sasquatch give me. It's what I'm able to acquire out in the wilderness in reality. No film crews and no walking in, walking out, all this perfect little stuff. That stuff doesn't happen in reality, ladies and gentlemen. I get what I get. I film everything that comes into my scope of vision, and that's it. Have a nice day. So it's a very, very exciting time, and I'm just going to keep referencing that drone because, man, so cool, right? All the stuff that comes about because I will get a drone. Hell, there's even maybe it's not even a drone. Maybe it's those incredible gyrocopters. Get one of those. Those things are like $300,000. Get a gyrocopter in the air with thermals. Now I can stay in the air for freaking. I can have a pilot in the air. It's not even me anymore. Like it grows, guys. We're not doing anything but growth. We're going up. We're increasing, and things seem to happen very exponentially with me. If you haven't noticed, like I was huge news with species protection in 2007 ish. I was enormous news when I came back with the Jake footage, all over the media, huge stories all over the place. They ran that picture like crazy. Then I was on Survivor Man, big news, pretty big news. Then I went and fought the court case, huge international headlines all over the world again, right? So that's what, 4 times? I've been huge international headlines. Even my movie came out, was a pretty big deal. So with people that were in the know. So actually, no, my movie wasn't that big a deal, was it? It wasn't like media, and it didn't do that. Well, the movie came out in conjunction with the court cases, so they kind of went together. But this next explosion that's going to happen, and I'll tell you something else you don't know. If I do some top 10 podcaster, and it's going to be an incredible show. I'm going to take the guy out and show him a Sasquatch. So whoever jumps first is going to be in an enormous advantage because he's going to be the first guy to come out with me. If it's Joe Rogan, I'm going to take the man out and show him a Sasquatch. He's going to be an enormous advantage. What do you think is going to happen next year? 20 other podcasters, 20 YouTubers are going to all, and forget media. We're so close. The media is just so deceitful. And believe me, I've been, before even COVID, before the all this crap that we've seen in the media in the past 5-10 years, whatever it is. I was working in the media in 2006. I couldn't believe how corrupt and backwards they were. When they were doing stories on me, I was like, man, you guys can't get nothing right. You just, hell, I played football. Half the time they get the score of the game wrong. You know, it's like, really? You got or even they got it backwards, who won, the scores wrong. The media's just been a crap show. And it's so corrupt right now. It's pretty scary. So I literally am more interested than self-made people. People, what I don't want to call self-made people, but people have built themselves up on their own, like Joe Rogan, like Mr. Beast, and there's dozens of others. It doesn't, and I say Joe Rogan, I say Mr. Beast as a representative of a top YouTuber or a top podcaster. It doesn't have to be Joe Rogan. It doesn't matter who it is. If someone comes out with an open heart, some good person is going to come out, has an open heart, have this incredible, amazing success with me, and I'm going to explode his life. Like Joe Rogan does a show with me. Can you imagine? He sits down with a Bigfoot guy who has all this footage, calls me a liar, calls me a hoaxer, says all these bad things about me. Trust me, I'm going to have some stuff in defense. I'm going to be able to put him in his place. Trust me. But at the end of the argument, the end is, don't take my word for it. Come out with me and I show you a Sasquatch. That's a tagline of mine. You like the video? Cool. I'm not saying believe it. I'm saying come out with me and I'll show you a Sasquatch. The video leads to that. And someone like Joe Rogan, that dude steps in the ring. He's a tough dude. He's a fighter. And I'm not just talking for commentary. That dude's a legit, real fighter. He's got real jujitsu. He's got real taekwondo. He's a tough man. He's a beast. He looks amazing. He takes excellent care of himself. I respect that. He's an exceptional athlete. He's old and he looks amazing. Takes really good care of himself. That's a disciplined human being. He's got an incredible podcast. He's got power. And the only way the conversation ends, there's no other way. I'm gonna take you out and show you that. Good, you don't want to come? So good, you're a chicken shit. Shut your mouth. If you won't come step in the ring with me, if you doubt me, and you won't come step in the ring with me, and I'm offering it to you freely, I will take you out and show you a Sasquatch. I win or I win. Because if I take him on, I'm going to show him a Sasquatch. If he doesn't come out with me, he's a coward and you can shut his mouth. It's a win-win for me. And if he takes me up on my challenge, well, the first video is going to be the most viral thing Joe Rogan has ever done. It's going to get hundreds of millions of views. And then when he comes out with me, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to be crazy, right? And then when I win, because I always win, because I take people out and show them Sasquatch, when he comes back, he goes, holy crap. This is what I saw. This is what I experienced. This guy's amazing. Then what do you think is going to happen? 200 million views, a billion views? We win, we win, we win. So that's why it's just time to get excited, guys, and I'm ready to do that stuff. I'm accepting those challenges. I'm putting it out there. Who wants to step in the ring with me? Who's ready? Because I've been doing this a long time. I am the heavyweight champion of the world when it comes to Sasquatch for two reasons. First reason is if anybody proves Sasquatch is real, I win. If I prove Sasquatch is real, I win. The other reason is I take people out and show them a Sasquatch. I continuously do that. I'm working my butt off right now, finishing off my expeditions because I'm taking out another nearly 30 people, approximately 30 people on 10 expeditions this year from June, July, August, September, October. So 5 months, two expeditions a month, one expedition every second week. That's 10 expeditions with 3 people per expedition, approximately 2 to 3 people. So it's approximately, let's say, 24 to 30 people are coming out on expedition with me again. I did it last year. I did it the year before. I'm going to do it next year and the year after and the year after and the year after. Never going to stop. Never going to stop, ever. I am a Sasquatch researcher and I'll be doing this for the rest of my days. I'm very young right now. I have at least 25 years of hiking and backcountry wood work to do in my life. 25 more years before I start getting to the point where maybe my knees and stuff, and I'll just start doing guest speaking and talking about the tremendous success me and my cooperation have been able to garner. But 25 more years, guys. What do you think I'm going to accomplish? I've been doing this since 2004, so I've been in it for 20 years, and my success goes like this. It's exponential, my growth curve, and I'm right about here, about to get up like that. Just explode. The technology's here, my mindset's correct, everything's in place. Thank you so much for tuning into my show today, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry I didn't get to more questions. I'll do much more questions next week. Uh, Lots of new exciting stuff coming. There'll be lots of new announcements every week. The documentary right on the queue. So we're just negotiating that right now. New documentary coming out. So lots and lots of stuff. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Until next time, take care of yourself. Bye for now.